It must be me. I must have done something wrong. Well, if you tell yourself that non-stop, then you know something is off. That's what we are going to talk about. We are going to talk about narcissism and narcissistic partners. And Michael is going to join me and he is going to tell his story to you.
So if I say, it must be me, I must have done something wrong.
That's how I
Do you
felt.
recognize that?
I blamed myself. Yeah. Um, I was first long-term relationship with. I was in. She had been abused, so had anger issues. And I know of people who have had anger, maybe depression or anxiety, but didn't take it as far as she did. She was. I like to tell people, verbally, psychologically, emotional abusive. She would yell and argue, pick fights, and I was very quiet. So the more she yelled, the less I would talk, and like the smaller I would become, and then that made her even more angry. And then
Because you didn't say anything back.
what?
You didn't say anything back. So it made her more mad that you
Yeah,
didn't respond.
yeah. I didn't say anything, ignore it, and then that would make her more. And it took about 5 years just for the heck to it. One time we had an argument. We just drove home. She took the car and that was it. So I wouldn't have even left. She kicked me out.
Yeah.
So it's like I hadn't gotten to the point yet, even then, when it was when I was strong enough to go. So it took
Did you consider it in all those years? Like, this is not normal. Maybe I should leave. Did you consider it?
no, no, I didn't. I honestly thought like this must be what long-term relationships are like. They're good and then they get worse as time goes on.
Hmm.
Or
So, what is
down.
your first love?
No,
Was it your first relationship? Not. Have you had?
not my first
Okay,
long term, but not my
first
first
long
love. No.
term.
Yeah, we were together for 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it's of course difficult. Like, okay, what's normal, what's not.
Yeah,
So, did she ever say sorry to you?
no, no, she didn't say sorry. She never said sorry.
Okay.
That's one thing
So,
I
what?
never say. It's
Yeah.
one thing I don't think I ever heard her say.
Hmm. So, was she the goddess of the house?
Well, yeah, she was the boss. Yeah, I mean, like I said, she was abused when she was a kid, and then she became a nurse. So she went from being abused and like horrible childhood to making a crap load of money every year. So that was a big difference. And then she just basically went on a power trip. And like, so it's like,
Yeah.
I'm making money, I'm important, I'm a nurse. And then took that in every aspect of her life.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been wondering about it. If um, abuse, it doesn't all start with abuse. I'm not sure, but I have seen multiple cases where you could actually say, yeah, people are abused. Mariela says, good job, Michael.
Yeah. And I don't
Um,
think it's, I mean, I've met people who were abused and had issues, but were a lot better than she was.
well, let's put it this way: people who are narcissistic, whether they don't have like a childhood or a lifetime of relationships where they were abused themselves.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's just something that crossed my mind, and you're saying it, and I'm like, that might be. I don't know. Maybe they get immune for all this stuff. So, so what you said basically is, you didn't know any better. And I guess that's where what the trap actually is. Because if you don't know
Yeah,
any better, then you're not inclined to say, you know what, I'm going to go.
yeah. I didn't know any better. It was my first long term, and I just thought it was going to get better, and I was wrong.
Hmm. So,
I
yeah.
At the time, I guess I didn't like myself enough to be by myself, because I loved the fact that I was with someone, not loving her. There was a difference. I didn't know that difference until I met the one I'm with now. But yeah, that was a big difference.
Yeah. So were you afraid to be alone?
Um, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I hear it more often. When I say to someone, why are you still with this person? And then the answer comes, but I don't know how to be alone. I can't be alone. I don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
And quite often that's the reason that people go back to their partner, especially when it concerns men, that they go back to the woman who's
Mhm.
because uh, also women can be very narcissistic. I mean, I'm not sure if people realize this, that it's not just men who can be abusive and
Yeah.
narcissistic, but it can also be women. And
Mhm.
women can be really mean.
Yeah, I know. I've heard. Um, I look at it as like I didn't necessarily need to not be alone, but I spent the better part of my 20s being single and having this limited mindset of women won't want to be with me because I'm in a wheelchair. And that's never been substantiated, but
Mm-hmm.
that was always the thought that went through my head. So I felt like since I have her, I'm going to do what I have to do to keep her. And I think that's
Yeah,
part of why I stayed so long.
yeah. So, do you feel like you did everything you could to make her happy, believing that this was a normal relationship?
No, I mean, I didn't do enough. It wouldn't have made her happy, but I didn't do enough. There's things I could have done as far as like she was at work all day, and I could have cleaned the house better and taken care of the house better. But I don't think it would have made her feel better. It just would have made me stronger and made me better at taking care of myself and the house. But it wouldn't have had an effect on her.
Hmm. So, do you believe that this is her talking about saying you could have cleaned the house better, or is it really true? Because I do know that they're so good at making you small and saying it's never good enough. So, is it
It's
really not good enough, or is that what she made you believe?
I could have done more. It was her making me feel small was not related to the house. It was related to me not speaking up, me not like fighting back, me not not having a me not me just being small. That's what I was related to. I guess at the time I was too weak for her, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you keep on hearing that you're not good enough, it doesn't
Yeah,
make sense. And that's why I'm saying, are you certain that this was not another one of her tricks?
I don't think it was her tricks. I don't think she thought of it like that. It was just thought that like she was just mean and hurt,
Hmm.
put out on everybody else.
So when we look at how you felt, you said you felt small. So what was your energy level like?
Oh, barely anything. I didn't really do much of anything other than like
Yeah.
I mean I didn't start like really taking care of stuff that I should have taken care of until like the year before we split because I she was like put me on notice, basically. So I was, yeah, I was very unenergetic and depleted, basically.
Yeah. So it does make sense that you wouldn't be able to do whatever you wanted to do simply
Yeah.
because you didn't have any energy.
Yeah.
So, did you feel like you could eat and all that stuff, or were you always like, I need to be on the run and I need to be tiptoeing?
No, I ate. Just I've never eaten enough. I mean, I was always, I'm always one of those eat to live people. If I wouldn't, I'm not necessarily like big on food, but I ate. I just, you know, just didn't do a lot of things energetically.
Yeah.
And just stayed home a lot. Did not much of anything.
So, do you believe that you were capable of loving yourself back then?
Well, I could have. I just didn't have. Just I could have. Just I did had her, so it made it worse. If I had someone like the one I'm with now, it would have made it better, and I would have learned more, and I would have been more self-reflective and taken care of myself better, and it would have been a much better situation.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm asking all these questions because I've noticed that when you are dealing with a narcissistic partner, well, like you said, they never say sorry. It's never about them. It's always about you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start to feel really uneasy and always a bit nervous, then it doesn't make sense to be eating anymore. So basically, you do everything to survive
Mm-hmm.
because that's the way we've been programmed. So addictions, of course, are around the corner.
Yeah.
Just to numb yourself.
Yeah,
Have
like
you ever?
I wouldn't say I was an alcoholic, but from '03 to '05, I moved to Vegas. I was a very
Mhm.
sheltered kid, and then I moved to Vegas, and it was like a free brothel with like booze everywhere. So it was
Yeah.
like whatever, I can do whatever. So I from '03 to '05, I drank way too much. I was going out with my friends a lot every
Mhm.
weekend, and then I met my ex in '05, and it went from drinking too much because I was having to have a lot of fun with my friends to drinking too much because I was miserable with the ex, and I was trying to numb
Mhm.
myself because I was angry and pissed off and unhappy. And then I did that until I she and I split, and then I did it for a little bit after the split because I was basically mourning the separation, even though it was a good thing. I was still like mourning that relationship, and then about less than a year after that, I just said, okay, I'm not going to drink anymore. I just stopped. So
Good.
I could, yes, I had addiction, maybe, I don't know, but I could have stopped at any time. It was just more of her making me miserable, so.
Yeah. The question, of course, is what do you do to forget? And Michael and Mariela, she totally gets you. And she facts me too. You're doing so good now. So as we, now maybe we can invite her
Yeah,
later on. But I want
okay.
to hear your story first. So, so the moment that she put you on notice, do you remember the moment that you were on your own again?
Yeah, I had to move in with my parents.
Hmm. So how
With
was that? Those first weeks, the first months,
confining,
the first year?
confining. I uh, I know they loved me, so they would always take care of me, but I didn't want to be there. But I just did
Yeah,
what I had to do.
yeah.
So it
So
wasn't
how
bad.
about down the line? Because I assume that things started to normalize for you again when you were at your parents' place.
Well, yeah, I mean, it took me a good 3 years to get over all of that happened, but yeah, I was with my parents for 8 years at their house before I moved in with my new
Hmm.
one, and we got together and we have an apartment now. But yeah, I was with my parents for 8 years. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't ideal, but it wasn't like bad either.
Okay, so part of you didn't want to move back in with the parents because then you're actually back to basic. But
Yeah,
on the other side, maybe it did heal you.
maybe. Being away from her definitely helped. You just it was a matter of being away from her and being by myself with my own thoughts.
Yes, makes
Yes.
sense. So at some point, hi Anna, you got in a new relationship.
Yeah, we've been together for 6 years in August. Well, and a few weeks actually.
Okay. Uh, no. And so how's this different?
She's taught me how to love and how to um, be more self-reflective and to think about myself more and to be stronger, speak up for myself and more and stand there for myself and not like push down my feelings or my thoughts or what's going on.
Mhm.
She doesn't like to she doesn't like to beat around the bush, let's say. Even if it's an argument,
Well,
she'll like get it out of the way and then be done with it and that's it.
well, at least that helps you understand what's going on. I
Yeah,
mean, I can appreciate that when people do.
yeah, I get that. Yeah.
So so looking down on this, I mean, 6 years almost
Yeah.
uh, with your
For
wife. You're married, right?
September 13th, it'll be September, like middle of September, it'll be 6 years. And we got married in May 5th, 2019.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
nice. I want to say congrats, but the whole thing, of course, uh, is a great story.
Yeah.
Ever since you are with her, I mean, it changed you. So, if you now compare the both, what
hmm
stands out um, when it comes to warning signs, and how would people who have been in such a relationship recognize, like, but this is what's working, this is what's good? What would you tell them?
As far as one, it's all about them. Uh, they're always right. They're never overly affectionate. Um, they're aggressive. And what was the second question?
The second question is, and then once you are in a good relationship, how can you tell, like, oh, this is actually good?
Oh, it's more give and take. They're not all about them. They're more affectionate and more communicative, or have better communication, and they want to speak and go back and forth and see what's wrong, what's right, and how to fix things rather than just be all about them. Because
Yeah,
like
that's actually, yeah.
I like I wanted to date after we were together. We were living together. I wanted to date, and she was like, "We're together. We don't have to date anymore."
Hmm.
So it was like, so basically, the honeymoon was over before it even began.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
there was no good stuff, was no fun stuff.
The the first year was good. After that,
Hmm.
it went.
Okay. Yeah, I also have heard stories of the people being in the right mindset when being taken out and taken to dinner, and always, of course, saying you can't go on your own. If you go out, then you need to take me
Yeah,
with you, even if it's on a business lunch, you know.
yeah.
So not going out at all, not dating at all, is quite the opposite. So um, so what would you advise people nowadays when they are in such a relationship? So basically, you were given notice, but if you were, well, I hope you don't because you seem to be very happy now with your
Yeah.
current life. So, but say just for the sake of argument that
Hmm.
um, you would be in such a relationship, knowing what you know now,
Hmm.
what would you do different?
Talk to her more. Examine why she's feeling the way she's feeling. What we can do to help her. Um, and if all of that doesn't work, get out. Just
What I
exhaust
love
all.
about this is that you want to help her. So if
Yeah.
someone is abusing you mentally, physically, you know, whatever level, and still you are the one who says, I want to help the other one,
Yeah.
which, by the
Yeah.
way, I've heard more often.
Yeah. I mean, that's just my nature. That's just what I would want to do. I realized that I want to fix our situation, even if we couldn't be together, or stick it out and yeah, see where we can go from there. I mean, I wasn't angry. I wasn't angry with her. I was more angry with her brother because of things he said about my mother. But I wasn't angry at her because I knew it. I knew she had what she had gone through.
So basically, you said, okay, because I know what happened to you, I'll forgive you for whatever is happening, even though it's ruining me.
Yeah, basically.
I'll accept it because I know that you come from an abusive background.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. She was a kid, so it wasn't her fault. I mean, if I get if you're over 18, you can leave. She wasn't over 18. She was a little girl, so it wasn't her fault. So yeah, I just thought of it that way.
Well,
Everything.
again, I've heard a similar story from someone. He always wants to please the partner, you know, and make things right, make things the best they can be. Of course, until that moment that there's nothing left anymore, and
Yeah,
even then.
yeah.
So, do you know? Okay, well, because you said she was abused as a little girl, if she might have experienced parents where one uh, was narcissistic as well.
Well, probably. I mean, her first stepfather was a guy who abused her, and he was not fault. But sure, he was.
Hmm. And how about you? Are your parents have always been loving, or was there somewhere that you felt like, hmm,
Well, they're very good parents. Yeah.
okay, that's good, that's good. And maybe that's the whole thing, because when the normal situation, of course, would be that you understand one another and that you balance things out and that you take care of one another.
Yeah.
It's just what you want to avoid is that you are in a relationship where one is giving everything and the other one is taking it all
Yeah.
and not recognizing it.
You need to give and take. Yeah.
Yeah. So I noticed Mariela was there. I don't know if she still is. Mariela, if you're hearing this, you want to join, I can invite you, but that might be at the expense of the quality of the video. So
Yeah, I believe
Um, is she gone?
I think she's there. No, she's here.
Oh, she's here. Okay. Well, it would be nice to have her on. So, um, yeah, let's just see. If other people want to join too, they're of course welcome. Um, but I know that she was pretty excited when she was noticing what was going on in your story. So,
Mhm.
um, one of the reasons I also wanted to talk about this is one of my clients. He's dealing
Mhm.
with all of this, and it's he doesn't understand where it's coming from. That's one. Uh,
Mhm.
so you are actually capable of
Hold on one
saying,
minute.
"Ah, there she is." Well, I believe you had a lot of things to say.
Um, yes, and I'm sweating right now. Okay, but I'm sweating because I have the bath going on right now. So I'm steaming the bath. Detoxing the chemicals and all the stuff out of my
Well, you
system.
still look
So
good.
yeah. So go ahead, talk. I'm in the bathroom. I'm in the bathroom.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
but
well,
I'm in close.
you heard Michael's story, and I saw a lot of
Yeah.
cards and facts and all
Hmm.
that stuff. So we talked about certain symptoms, what to see, how to recognize it. So just share some thoughts, or maybe I should have Michael talk to you. Michael.
Yeah. Go ahead, Michael.
So what have you been dealing with as far as relationships and abuse?
Well, from what you heard and everything that you went through, I think I had a lot of experience on the point where, honestly, with you, if you don't love yourself or you
Yeah.
feel if you feel self like a low self esteem,
Mhm.
honestly, with you, you do everything to try to like have people love you, take care of you. And sometimes you stay in relationships knowing that it is toxic, like me and lady were talking about, just because you wanted to be able to say, yes, I have a boyfriend. It's nice to be able to. I love relationships, but being in a toxic relationship, and I heard everything that you were saying, I
Mhm.
can definitely understand how it is. It has the benefits, and I'm sorry, my daughter. So I'm gonna be putting the water on and off. So it has the benefits of being like a good relationship, but it also has like the ups and the downs. And when you were speaking, I can feel like how you felt. Like you definitely like once they control you, you just don't believe in yourself. So the best thing I think personally, like I was telling you, is either best to like either like work with it or a separation, because once you have a separation, you either like can see if the person is really really there for you, is the person really really wants you, is the person willing to be with to do the things that you want to do. But the hardest thing sometimes, because the manipulation, it will be like, oh yeah, me personally, I love food, flowers, candles, or hook me up with some clothing, and then I can get, hey, bruise here, there, boom, bumps here, whatever. Bring me a little candy and a little like McDonald's cookie. I'll be like, I like, because you know what, we have a wound that it ends from the core on which we never were ever loved.
Yeah.
We didn't have people that show us. Ouch. Sorry, I'm trying to like have my daughter, but she's up there trying to
So here's the question, because
Go
I've
ahead,
seen that
Lucy.
pattern with one of my clients, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Wait.
let's see. When they're separated, the partner does everything to get him back. And at
Let's
that
stop.
moment, suddenly she can give and all is okay. But the moment she has him in her claws, I can't say it in another way, then it goes downhill as quickly as she was actually like, oh, yeah, let me do this. Let me pay this for you. Or, actually cook dinner for a change. And
I'm a
it gets
sucker for
quickly to
that,
this.
especially if you broke. But keep going, lady. I'll be quiet. I wish there was a mute, but keep going.
No, 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 no. I'm curious about it because Michael never separated, and you just
Hmm.
said, well, if well, not on his own. Let's put it that way. He was put on notice, but you said when you separate, then you can see the difference. But what if the other partner actually is like, oh, but I miss you, and I'm so sorry, and oh no, they don't say I'm sorry, but I'll do better, and oh, let me do this and that and the
It's
other
your
for
fault.
you. Yeah, and then exactly the moment that it's all your fault, and in the beginning, of course,
Reverse
too.
psychology.
Yeah,
But go ahead.
Yeah.
Keep
I've been
talking.
there.
No, I love what you said. And
Hmm.
what do you
I've
want to
been
say,
there.
Michael? You
Like
said you've been there.
you just always think it's
Yeah.
your fault.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You think
And
it's the other person
that's
at the very end.
And then you
But do
start
you think?
believing it's your fault.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And then
yeah.
you try to do everything to try to please them. And anything that you do, everything is not right, not wrong. Are you not doing it correctly? And it's just basically you are like a little puppet trying to figure it out, walking on eggshells. Why? To
Yep.
please them. And you lost yourself.
The sound is gone, Mariela.
It's
Yeah.
cutting in and out.
Uh,
Yeah, I hear you again. You were
Sorry.
gone. The sound
My
was
daughter was
gone.
calling me. But yeah.
Ah, okay.
So everything that Michael said, it makes sense. He lost his self-esteem. He was not going aside. He did not feel worthy. Everything that he did, it was not pleasing her. He was walking in eggshells. She was like the boss in that relationship. He controlled every move, whatever he said, do everything. But you know what? At the end of the day, Michael, you're right
Mm-hmm.
here, and I see you working now and doing everything else. So effort.
Thank
That's
you.
all I have to say.
Yeah, I love what you said. So one of the
Yeah.
things that stands out, and I don't know how that was for you, Michael, is you said it's walking on eggshells, and that's basically what
Tapa,
I've
tapa.
heard as well. So when you are with the partner, you're walking on eggshells, and then when you're outside without the partner, then all of a sudden there is a difference noticeable. Like, hey, for change,
So
I
true.
don't have to walk on eggshells. So do you recognize this, Michael?
Yeah,
Vete.
there's
The
one like
Go.
behind.
tiptoeing?
Go in the
Yeah,
shower.
oh,
Sorry,
sorry.
I'm putting my daughter in the shower. But go ahead.
I, I was with my ex, and I would go out with my friends, and it would just be me and them, and then I would feel a lot lighter and more fun, more like myself.
Yeah.
Should, would you say that that could be tell, the ultimate sign that you know something is wrong? That whenever you're away from that partner, you're no longer tiptoeing. And then when you get back, it's all of a sudden where, oh, I need to take care of myself. I need to make sure I don't look the wrong way. I don't do the wrong things. And of course, I'm to blame. So from being free for a while and then getting back to, I don't know, prison, whatever.
Hmm.
What would you say?
What was the question?
The question is, would
She's
it?
go ahead, lady. I listen to it. I'm so
Sorry.
Okay, I will repeat it from my end. So, would the telltale sign, could that be the difference between when you are around that partner, you
Hmm?
are walking on eggshells, so basically you're tiptoeing, You have to watch every step you make sure you don't look the wrong way. Versus when you're out with friends or maybe you are with family, and then all of a sudden you feel light, you feel normal again, until, of course, you are in the same room again with the other one, and then all is, I don't know if it's
Oh,
just
I
by
like it. I like it,
television
lady.
or.
It
Go
it
ahead,
feels
Michael.
it feels like a weird, comforting blanket that is detrimental to your mental health. I don't know how to.
Mhm.
I don't know how to say it. It makes you feel better, but in a bad way, and it's hard to get away
Yeah.
from.
So it's
You
addictive.
just justify it. You justify
Okay,
the difference.
you justify it. Okay, that makes sense because you do have to tell yourself why you are staying with such a person.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
And
That's what
if they
basically
tell
it
you
says.
it's you, then of course you have to justify it because it's all about you. You're not the one doing the work or whatever the other one wants.
Yeah.
So, but what again? What would you say when people, and Mariana, maybe I should ask this you as well. But I love
No,
the
no. I want to
the
take time for Michael. This is Michael's time. So let him, lady, take care of him. And I'm listening and I'm just getting pointers. I'm okay, lady. Let's get Michael together. I'm all right.
well, this is for the more input we get, the more we
Yes.
can warn other people who are in this situation. So luckily, the both of you are out of that situation, and I
But this
don't
is
think.
Michael's time. So concentrate on Michael. Don't worry about me. I might say like jobs, but it's Michael's time. So go ahead, lady. I'm up here with you for Michael. Let's go.
Well, yeah, it's Michael and my show, so of course it's
Yes,
his time.
yes, lady. Go ahead. But tell us a little story about you, cause you keep questioning us. We need to like maybe do a video just to question you because you're amazing, lady. Thank you.
Ah, that's so sweet.
But keep going.
Well,
Turn, turn. Whatever you want to do.
I unfortunately never been in a narcissistic relationship. I do know what it's like seeing, how do you call it, this balance when it's unequal between both
All
the
over the
parents.
place.
Mhm. Yeah.
So my dad was the big one, 6'6". My mom was the little one. And there was an age difference between the two of them. So my dad was 22 when he met my mom at 14, and he had become the head of the family when he was 17 years old, because we're talking about World War II. And
Yes.
his father at 41 passed away. He had an inflammation of the brain, and back then the Germans had taken away all the medication, so he had to take care of all his brothers and sisters. So coming from there, following in his father's footsteps, so his father had a dream to go into Indonesia. That's what he did, and of course he wanted to help people in Indonesia as well. So it was a very my mom was still a teenager, and she was kept small, girls, you need to protect them. Oh my God, something could happen out of wedlock. We don't want them. And also, everybody came to Indonesia. So apparently, they lived near a harbor, from what I've understood. And every once in a while, all the soldiers, all the Marines, whatever, they would drop by. There was also a little airport. So my mom was very wanted, and because there were not many women. And whenever, of course, the guys came there, they hadn't been with a woman for how long. So my grandma wanted to protect my mother, and that's what she did. So my mother never experienced freedom, didn't know how to protect herself because she had no defense mechanism, because that was my grandma. And of course, when my dad came, he started to take care of her. And during the rest of their marriage, which was 60 years, I think, before he passed away, it 60 or 70, I don't know. It was a long time. Anyway, so or 65. He was the one who was controlling everything. And of
I
course,
bet.
I I could understand it to a degree. I mean, my mom had never done grocery shopping. He didn't let her. He had to control everything because he had learned about
For
hunger.
the army,
And
probably.
because in the
The
Netherlands there
army.
was no food, it was cold.
Hmm.
So when there wasn't enough money, he would actually get really upset with my mom just for buying a toothbrush, which was not on sale.
Oh, well.
And that's what I've witnessed. That's what I've witnessed. I've witnessed him not talking to her for a week. And when I
Wow.
was older, and at some point he was really hurting because his back was really hurting. He couldn't see anymore. You know, he had surgery for his eyes. Um, he was really nasty to her. And then I said, Dad, you can't do this. And then he said, but she has to learn. It was the only way he understood. So my mom always said, don't be cruel to men. And I don't think I ever took crap. You know, the first year when I had first boyfriend I started living with, when we were still in my territory, it was all okay. And then we moved to his territory, which was an hour drive from my family. And within a year, it was over and done with. I said, you know, goodbye. I don't want to be here. And that's the difference. So I I
I
of
can't
course
wait
had to learn
to.
to
I
set
can't wait
boundaries.
to. Re. I can't wait until you do your book. When are you doing that chanting? When are you doing the chanting with Kate? When are you doing your chanting? Because it sounds so pretty. You just took me into the Netherlands and your family. Lady, you can tell stories. You should do like the same thing they do in the podcast and just talking about it. I was up here like, oh, I'm up here in the
Oh,
island and okay, that's wonderful. I can't wait until I can read your book, lady. It sounds so pretty. But keep going. I'm
that's
listening.
sweet. Well, let's do that another time because Michael and we are both live here right now. So, Michael,
Yes.
what would you say if there's anything you want to say before we wrap it up? What would you say?
Just if you're in a relationship, be more conscious of how they treat you, how they interact with you, how they view themselves. Um, Try to promote communication and a give and take, back and forth, um, because that'll get to the bottom of whatever you're going through, and that'll either fix the problem or let you know that you need to leave and not be not.
Yes. Yes, I love what you say about communication. I guess that's the key part in the whole thing. That
Yeah,
it's not about it's your fault or that you think it's all my fault. No, how can we communicate together so we can understand what we as a couple need from one another?
and
So you can
that's the
actually,
thing. You got to
yeah,
figure out what you each need.
hmm yeah, exactly. So what does each of you want? What does each of you need? Are you capable of giving it? Maybe you can. That's okay too.
Yeah,
But give the other the possibility to do something maybe with friends. So at some level you still feel fulfilled.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I
Like
think that
in
yes.
the beginning of the relationship now that I'm in now, I wasn't, and she likes strong men, so I had to become strong over time to get to where she needed me to be, and she helped that.
Yeah, well, I do believe that when you are low on energy, you start to neglect yourself, not take good care of yourself anymore. Actually, Mariela just said it. We know you work out. We've seen you. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know if your wife
That's
is
good, honey.
recording the videos, but it
Mm.
looks kind of cool when you see
He's ready
yourself,
for
you
the
know?
book.
Thank you. Yeah, that was my living room.
You're,
Was that?
Yeah,
I say you ready for the book.
Yeah.
Nice, Michael. Good.
yeah.
Good job.
But you can tell
Hmm.
that you are
The right
mentally and
support.
physically. You
Yeah.
get support. You get. It's possible for you to grow, to get
That's
better,
right.
to grow stronger,
Yeah.
and just you. And I mean, just the mere fact that how many shows are you doing currently? Well, except of
I
course
have
for the. I realized that.
4 podcasts right now, and I
Yeah, that's what I
Michael.
mean.
Good job, Michael. You
That's what I
see,
mean.
well,
And
she's
look at
missing you
your
right now.
face.
You should do shout outs to her. I'm pretty sure she's
Well,
sipping there
she gives.
somewhere. Michael. No, I'm joking.
No, but she's giving you the opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
And
She blew it.
shout outs to who? I didn't hear that part.
your wife for helping
Oh,
you do the 4 podcasts.
I constantly talk about my podcasts.
Yeah, but
Hmm.
she's
Good job.
letting you, you
Yeah,
want to do it. Okay, go
one of
do
them
it.
is one of them. She joins in every week.
That's wonderful, Michael.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the
that's
support that you
amazing.
need.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? It went from being so negative, from having the conversation of having something so negative into something positive, into something inspiring, into something to let some people that they can get out of that. You know what I mean? And with the right support, you are
Yeah.
able to accomplish anything. And you look healthier. That I'm pretty sure if you were still with her, you would be like probably like drinking your ass off.
But you're probably right. You probably,
Yeah. And that's also a telltale sign. So for the people who see people who are in a relationship where someone is being mentally abused, maybe also physically, but let's say just mentally, just look for the signs. If one people is withdrawing, I loved the comparison with a turtle.
What is
Getting
it?
back in your shell
Ooh, I
yeah.
love
and not
that.
being outgoing anymore when you're constantly taking all those mental abuse that you
Hmm.
actually don't dare to interact with the outside world anymore. So if anyone sees any of these signs, and of course when being outside, the partner probably would be the perfect company, but when you see someone change and get withdrawn, that's one important sign.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I suggest we wrap this up. Mariela,
I
Okay.
anything
just
you
want
want
to
to
say
add?
one little thing. One little thing. So talking about mental health and wellness and like not having no drama. So today, well, I'm actually taking that day just for me and my daughter, the little one.
Good.
You don't have no clue how quiet this house has been. I feel like I have it's crazy because it's like me, the big one, and oh my lord, I love you, Yanni. I love you. Okay, I love you, but it's what? Sometimes you need a. I swear to you, she had her little pizza there in the living room. She had that. I was able to do 3 or 4 hours of just listening to music and typing. So take a little time for yourself.
Yeah.
I went
That's
Good.
upstairs. I was able to listen to music, and look, I'm right here, and I've been here for a while. Usually you see her right, but like grabbing me or something, but right now she's in the bathroom. So, and I did that on purpose. So I told my daughter and her father, it's my daughter and my little one time. I don't care. This 2 days is just for me and her, and it's take a little time for yourself, even if you
yeah.
have to close that I don't care. Nobody, my daughter's here. That one big one is up there. I really don't care what else is going on in the world. And I just took that day to just experiment the moment and enjoy it. So that's what I did today. Today is a day just for peace for me and my little one.
That's good.
Yep.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, 2 weeks ago I took a week off too.
And
So,
guess what? Who said that? Terry. Terry, he said,
oh,
oh, and guess who? Peter, I'm gonna, but anyways, we'll talk later. But Peter said that. He said, because I was whining and complaining about everything. And Peter, he's sharp. He's a science. I don't know. I gotta go get him, but the website and stuff. But he said something. He said, because I was complaining about something. And he said, I don't think you have experienced gratitude. You know how he speaks. And then today I thought about it, and when it's so quiet, and I thank you Jesus, I love my daughter, the big one, but just to know that I have the downstairs and my daughter has that, and nobody is bothering me, and I can just look at how I'm glowing. I have that window
yeah.
open, and I'm in the bath, and I'm cleansing. I cleanse my baby. I tell you, I do remedies, cleansing, naming, facials, cream. I'm not even gonna go on that, but just the fact that I'm taking all the knowledge if everybody's doing, Evan, Kyra, everybody. Oh my God, all of you guys, and I'm just absorbing it. But good job, Wheels, and you're looking strong too. So go ahead. Can't wait to read both of your books.
Thank you.
Good job. I'm out.
That's so sweet.
I'm out.
Well, the same applies to you.
I'm out.
So, okay. So, Michael, anything you want to end with?
No, just being more mindful of yourself and the relationship, and then just figure out what you need first, and that what they need, and try to marry the two. And if you can't, then get out.
That's
Yeah.
right, hon. That's it.
If
And
the other
lady,
doesn't want
can't wait.
to agree, then run. That's what I would say. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I still think it's when you feel you're not at ease in your own home, that's already saying something. And if you cannot improve it by talking to one another, and you keep feeling like I can't be myself, I can't do what I want, think about boundaries, the minimum that you need in order to feel good and to feel
Yeah.
stable. And if you can't do it, and the other one starts, gnawing at
Bickering.
those boundaries, then think about it, talk about it, and if it doesn't work, and especially if someone is always telling you it's your fault and never says I'm sorry, run. That's what I
Yeah.
would say. And learn, and that's maybe even the most important thing, even though it might be really hard, especially when being in such a relationship, learn to love yourself, learn
Yeah.
to understand what it is you need. So, Michael, can you say nowadays that you love yourself?
I'm getting better. Um, a lot more than I did 10 years ago. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I have my bad days. Yeah, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's not easy to love yourself. And just recently, I actually talked to an ex-boyfriend from over 30 years ago, and I didn't know he had said it, but he actually pointed out that I was always scratching my arms. So that was basically the ultimate mutilation. I didn't know I did it. I didn't know I was harming myself, but that was my way of coping with things because
Mm.
I was being bullied a lot back then, and I was the odd one out.
Yeah.
But really loving yourself and standing up for yourself, setting your boundaries, and especially feeling at home at your house when you're
Yeah.
at home. I think those are the most important things.
Yeah. That's
So
important.
I want to thank the both of you.
Thank you.
So Michael, thank you so much for sharing your story. And next time I'm going to let you ask some more questions. I know you love it when we have a guest on. And well, Mariela, she was here. So thank you, Mariela. Enjoy
Thank you for
your
you
your day
guys'
with the little one.
time. Thank you for allowing me to come through, Michael and Lady, and thank you, both of you. That's it. Thank you, both of you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay,
Well, I
Hans.
want to say thank your wife for me, Michael, for taking good care of you.
That's right.
That's what we need. That's what we want.
Yep.
And that smile on your face when you said we're saying I'm doing 4 podcasts a week. Look at you.
That right there, I was like this. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Go,
Yeah,
Michael.
it keeps me
What's
busy.
up?
Yeah.
But I did take 2 weeks off. So.
It's okay. You deserve it.
Yeah. From the 2 weeks, I actually took 1 week off myself.
You did.
So.
I need a vacation.
Oh,
I feel like
Okay.
24/7, like you know,
Yeah.
like a roller coaster, like a hamster. I'm like a
mhm.
hamster right now, but it's okay. It's
Single
okay. It's
mom.
okay. On my birthday, hopefully, I pass out and I just be like this, like Frida.
Yeah.
All right, bye, guys.
Yeah. Hopefully,
Bye-bye.
the pressure will be relieved. That would be nice. Okay,
Yes.
so I'm saying goodbye to all. If anyone who sees this wants to leave a comment, please do. I'll make sure it's going to be on YouTube as well.
Thank you, lady.
And if you have anything to
Thank you,
share,
Michael.
please let me know so you can be on the show with Michael and me.